means it is coming as, we need to convert it into number. So to convert anything into number, that means we generally call as typecasting. We generally call as typecasting. So that means, so typecasting. So actually typecasting is nothing but, so it is a technique. It is a technique used to convert string into number. Convert a string into number. So for that, we have two options here. JavaScript provides the functions. So the functions, one is string into number, or vice versa. So that is, JavaScript provides the functions. We have the functions. One is parse int. So we have parse float, and we have toString. These are the typecasting. So that means parse int is actually, it converts string into number. So number means it can be signed or unsigned like that. And signed or unsigned or others. Float is nothing but it converts string into fraction. So it can be a float, it can be a double, it can be a decimal, like that. It can be converting. So this toString is, it converts number into string. That is toString actually. These are actually used for general conversions. So that is can typecast and handle them. So usually, so this is the casting, and you can see now here in that, now whatever the value you collected and stored in age, even if it is a number, is treated as string because it is a text box. We have to use parse int, and this particular value, parse int, and whatever the value is collected. Of course, after collecting into variable, later we can convert, but directly I am converting. That means while reading the value itself, I am converting it. So in that case now, so that is the conversion. And I will refresh here. Now I entered here a number. So I entered here a number. So when you entered the number here, so that means execute, yeah. So I click here, yes. I entered a number. And when I entered number here and come out, and you can see now age is 22. It's not a number, string type. It is not in double quotes now. It's not in double quotes now. Now, when I finish it, execution, then the message will not be displayed. So we can ignore this. That means now I see I entered some string, so the message should display now. When I entered the string, again here, the problem is you can verify that source. So I refresh here. I entered some string now and refresh here. When I entered some string and verify, actually it is C observe, because we are using type of directly. It says that it is not a number. It directly says that it is not a number. So that means it's not returning that value. It is simply returning not a number. This problem comes, you see, this is returning NaN, age is equal to NaN. This problem comes if you are directly trying to convert it, directly trying to convert the input value. So through parsing technique, that means this input value you are directly trying to convert, then it will say that I am expecting a number, but you haven't passed any number because direct value you are converting. That problem will come while conversions. That is the reason now people have a habit of doing in this way. I am showing you all consequences, means in how many ways the problem may come. That is what actually a developer need to be aware. Now what I am doing, I am reading the value first. After reading the value into age, txt age. After that, I will store this in a variable. In a variable age is equal to. So I return parse int txt age like this. That means after reading, then collecting it and converting and storing it into a reference. Now what will happen here is, in this situation, what will happen? I will refresh here. You observe carefully. I entered some string and press here. And now you can see that this is showing the value and step over. It is showing this NaN. You see, this is displayed none. Because age is still coming as NaN. N is NaN. That means it is not returning. It is not returning the value you are expecting. That is also one point I will tell you why it is returning like that. Why? Because once you are using the parsing technique, it will verify whether it is a number or not, because directly you are checking that age. With the NaN, you are verifying that. So that NaN is not returning the value. It is not returning the value. What it is returning is, this is saying that the value entered is not a number. That means parse int says that it is not a number. Then usually now when you are dealing with here, there is no need of using type of operator. So for numbers, so we can directly use NaN. That is the reason I showed you that we can use NaN. Type of operator, why it is not allowing? Because type of operator is good for other data types, like a string type, like a Boolean type, or a null type, or undefined type. But for numbers, the problem here is, if it is not a number, finally it is going to return NaN only. You directly read the value, or you can collect the value and store in a reference, then it is going to return NaN. So that means if it is not a number, it is not confirming the number. It is just using NaN. So that means finally type of operator is also returning which value? Type of operator is returning which one? Type of operator. So not type of operator, parse int. Parse int is converting your value. After converting your value, if it is a number, so in a string form, it is returning it. But if it is not a number, this is going to return NaN only. It is going to return NaN only. That is the reason when you are dealing with a number and conversions of numbers, then always recommended to use simple is NaN. Because dynamically when you are dealing with the values, dynamically when you are sending the values, those dynamic values will be converted and compared. When you are statically mentioning the values, you don't have that problem. Statically defining the values. That means where age is equal to, it is having some static value. Now it is having some static value. Now it can directly verify by using type of. Type of is good for that. For dynamic, always use NaN. So we should not use this number type. Type of is used for other data types, not for this particular. So always so simple. So instead of type of, you have to just use an option. So is NaN H. That is the option. So for that, you don't need to even convert also. So we don't need to even convert. Why? Because already it is implicitly converting and verifying. So type of also used, but when type of is used when you are statically verifying, not dynamically. But generally validations all are happened. Generally validations all are happened dynamically only. All are happened dynamically only. That is the reason. So which one is the best one for comparing? So which one is the best one for comparing with the numbers, especially? Remember, we are learning handling numbers. So which is used for is NaN is the best. Why type of? Because it verifies input without implicit conversions. And one more point is, so it returns NaN on parsing. So it returns so NaN when parsed. In that case, we have to verify by using that NaN only. That is the best way of verifying the numbers. Type of is good for others. So typecasting is converting the numbers. So the numbers, so string to number and handle them. Here, one more point I will tell you. That means in the typecasting, what more option you will see. Suppose I am using here sample.html. Typecasting related some points you need to understand. So I will write a script here. That means in interviews, they concentrate on these points to understand how much in depth you have the knowledge of these concepts. So you see here, so I'm writing here. So where A is equal to 10. So where B, so that means here I defined, so where Z is equal to, and I'm dealing with that. So here, if condition I'm writing, if A is equal to B. So here, if A is equal to B, or I'm creating some addition here, where C is equal to A plus B. Document dot write. So here I am printing C is equal to dollar, whatever the value of C is present. Now, can you tell me what will be the result of A plus B? What will be the result of A plus B? So A is number, B is string. Now observe carefully when I run this. So when I run this, you can see C value is 1010. Why? Because so it is concatenating, it is combining, it is concatenating. So plus is concatenating. So that means it is going to concatenate and use it. For example, if I say, so 2010. So it is, so 1020, it is concatenating. Suppose I given, so multiplication here. Later in operators, I will tell you one more time. Multiplication. Now, is it valid or invalid? Is it valid or invalid? Is it valid or invalid? Actually, you see here what happens. So surprisingly, it is valid. It's working. It's valid. Why? Because some operators, what they do is like subtractions, multiplications, divisions, not addition. These operators will have the ability to convert that string into number. And handle it. So in that, but not plus, because plus is also mathematical operator, but it is used for two situations, addition and concatenation. Especially when a string comes, it will work as concatenation. Only number, then it will work as addition. So other operators can implicitly convert it. Other operators can implicitly convert it. So that means internally they can convert and use it. That is an important thing. Now, suppose I am writing like this. Suppose I am writing, this will return like, so I need to convert this 20 into number. Then what we have to do is, we are writing here. So parse int. So convert this B into number. Convert the B into number and return it. So then what will be the result now? It will convert into number. Then what will be the result now? Good. So that means the result will be now 30. And you can see that the result is 30. Suppose I return some 50 A, B, C, and I am converting into number. Is it possible to convert into number? Is it possible to convert into number? Actually, yes, it is possible. Why? Because JavaScript have the ability to convert into number. It is not hexadecimal or binary. Don't overthink, because if you know about hexadecimal, so generally hexadecimal representation will be different. It's not hexadecimal and all. Actually, what happens now is in JavaScript, so if a string starts with a number, starting with a number, in that case, parse method can parse up to the number and it can ignore the rest of the string characters. That means it can parse up to the number and it can ignore the rest of the characters. When string comes, it will ignore, it will not convert. In that case, it will return a correct result. What is the result of this? Can you tell me now? What is the result of this? So the result of this will be 60. The result of that will be 60. That's working fine. Good. That means that is correctly returning. But it can do this, only parse have that ability. So if you are starting with a character and it is having a number, what do you say? So now it is not possible. It says is nan, is not a number. JavaScript have the ability to understand the number. So while parsing, even if it is in a string form, now it is nan. That means is not a number. So it's not a number. Then if anything, suppose here I will write here some 67. Now what will be the result? So at the end something 50 is there. What will be the result? So that means now see what is the result. It shows the result 77. That means I told you already, it will read up to the numeric occurrence and convert. After that, it will stop. In between, you may have numbers, or if string starts, it stops converting. That means these parsing methods have the ability to parse a number, a string into number, only if it is starting with the number. So that is the point here. That means here one regular question here is, so can parsing methods can parse, so parse int, like, right? Can parse int convert? So that means can parse int convert any string into number, any string into number? So the answer for this is actually no, it cannot do that. Answer for this is no, it cannot do that. It cannot do that. So it cannot do that. So it can convert. So it can convert only the string with number prefix. With number prefix only it can change. That means, for example, suppose I said here, so var x, something like var x is equal to, so parse int. Suppose I said in the quotes 56, so ABC, and this will be 56. It will convert into that. If I defined var x is equal to, so parse int. So, and here I defined some value like ABC 56 like this, then it returns NaN. It's not a number. The conversions are very important. How to convert, how to verify the numbers and working with them is important. One more regular problem comes is like, suppose, that means every time parsing like options here is, suppose we have both strings. So that is like 10.45 and some 12.34, and both are strings only. Both are string. Like we have a fraction, both are defined as a string. And now I'm using parse for both. So like parse int A and parse int B. Now when I print the result, so then it shows that result, then it shows the result 22. So 22, is it correct? Is the result correct? Is the result correct? How it is correct? Fractions are missing, huh? Is it correct result? It is not 22, no? It's not 22. That means now what will be the problem? Can you guess the problem? That's good. That means you know that it is a fraction. You cannot use parse int. If it is a decimal or something else, then the fraction, the conversion should be not parse int. The conversion should be parse float. Understood, everyone? The conversion should be parse float. It is parse float. So that means, so then you can have the correct number. You can have the correct number. Many times people face this problem because they use a wrong conversion technique. Because they are getting a decimal value or a floating point value or a numeric value. Depending on, is it an integer coming? So is it an integer coming? Or is it a string coming? So, or is it a floating coming? Based on that, we have to handle this. We need to handle this. So that is the basic requirement generally when you are dealing with it. So this is the concept you need to understand. So how the way configuration works. That means another example here I will give, the conversion is this. So for this, if I give, this is the example. In this example, so this is the right way. If the same example I have done with parse int. The same example we are doing with parse int. then this is going to return 22. That is going to return 22. And this is going to return, so here 22.79. 22.79. That's where the problems will come. So when you are dealing with wrong conversions, actually. This point also you need to understand. So which one we have to use? That is parse int or parse float. Now, many times, one more concept will come is why I need to convert into a string, converting into a string, a number to string. What is the reason of converting a number into string? Why I need to convert into string? Actually, converting into string is very much required, because suppose I said, so var x is equal to some number. Now I am not using this number for any type of calculations. Accidentally, intentionally, some operations may perform in JavaScript. So on this, if it is a number type, then I don't want it to work like a number anymore. Then what we do is, so when you are configured, that means I said some var s is equal to x dot to string. We are converting into string. That means now, so when you write here document.write, directly, I am writing type of x. Type of x is, or simply say x is of type. X is. So just here I will write type of x. And in the next line, so I will say type of, I will write here x is of x is number. Okay. Similarly, so s is, we will write here type of s. We are writing like this. Now when I run this, you can see that, so it is going to display that it is a number and it is a string. We are converting into a string. Generally, conversion into string is very much required when you are presenting the contents. That means when you are presenting in a div or a span anywhere, or in a label, and on the screen you are presenting, then I don't want any manipulations to happen on that particular value. It is only for displaying, not to handle any manipulation on the value. If I just project it like a number, then we will have the problem. So we will have a problem. So if we are not projecting like a number, then if you are not presenting like a number, so you are presenting somewhere in a label or a table cell or somewhere, and we don't want any accidental calculations to happen on them, then better always convert to string and present them. So this is the best way. Without that also it will work. But it is always recommended to convert into a string and configure that. That is the basic thing. So it's very important to convert into string, because once it is converted into string, you can handle the string manipulations on that. So some basic string manipulations you will learn later. So I will tell you about them. So that is the reason many times the doubt comes and people ask like, sir, why I have to convert it to a number, to string? So you have to convert a number into string so that you will not allow any accidental calculations, manipulations on that, because you are just using it for presentation. So these are all the basics you have to understand for validating and working with the strings and handling the numbers, dealing with the numbers. Similarly, in order to work with strings, we have string handling functions also. Just like number, so we have to understand in JavaScript. So in JavaScript, handling string, working with the string in JavaScript. Handling string is nothing but actually JavaScript. So one more point is there in numbers. I told you, let me finish that and go to that string handling. One more point is, so if you want to know the minimum and maximum number allowed, so how to know the range of how to know the range of number type, how to know the range of number type. You remembered yesterday I showed you one point, how to know the range of number type. Remember, yesterday I given one small example to know that what is the range of number type. To know the range of number type, you have to use the options to know the number type. That means minimum is equal to how you can access minimum. We have to use number. Number is an interface. Number dot. We have to use min safe integer. And in the next, max is equal to, we have to use number n uppercase, not lowercase, n uppercase. So number dot max safe integer. So this is min safe integer, that is max safe integer. This is going to return the minimum and maximum number allowed. For that, you need to use this logic. This is an example for that. So that is an example for that, how you can know the maximum and minimum range of numbers. So verifying the numbers, knowing the maximum and minimum range of numbers, that's important. Right? These are all the numbers. Now, once you know the numbers, now we need to know about the string handling, how we can work with the strings and manage the strings. That we will see in our next session. String handling we will see in the next session. And next session, tomorrow we don't have session. Our next session will be on Monday. Tomorrow, people, anybody who missed out Bootstrap, tomorrow we will have a workshop on Bootstrap at 11 a.m. So workshop on Bootstrap. For the link, you visit the Naresh IT Facebook page. Naresh IT Facebook page, you will get the link. So, or in the classroom, I will post the link to that workshop page so that you can attend that. Tomorrow, we have a workshop on that, right? Bootstrap 5, because already Bootstrap 5. So we have learned the same Bootstrap 5 only, but people who missed out, they can attend that workshop, just one day workshop on Bootstrap 5. What are the changes? What are the new options available there? Okay. Tomorrow, our regular session will not be there. Tomorrow, we will break that, and Monday we will continue. Okay. Right.